Um, you're sideways, by the way. Yeah. Okay. No worries. So I just didn't know if you knew.
I'm
Um,
always down to talk about Water Deep Dragon Heist, man. But yeah, so yeah, go ahead. I'm all ears. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
What sort of character or flavor you put into it that the book didn't necessarily talk to you about. And because we had
Okay.
those strange dream sequences last night, and some of the
Mhm.
descriptions that you gave, man, 2 hours and 40 minutes into the game when we got into the stone and it started talking. I mean, just the way that it was being described was incredible. It reminded me a lot of like Lovecraft.
Yeah, a lot of the inspiration that I have for the Stone of the Lore is actually from H.P. Lovecraft's kind of like descriptions and kind of like how some of the the story plays out in his books. I kind of wanted to go with like a very Lovecraftian feel with this stone, especially since one of the features that I personally chose directly to put in was that no one could sleep for 300 feet. I thought it would be such a great
Come on,
like
Jason.
flavor uh, opportunity for all of you to kind of have your own individual moments with this. Seeing as you can't sleep, well, why can't you sleep? You know, that was kind of my thought process behind it. What's making like the rest of the party not be able to get any quality shut eye? You know, why can't they take a long rest? Why can't they take a short rest? And it's because Galore is literally infiltrating and worming his way into the thoughts and minds of those that are around him. And secretly, the Stone of Galore. I mean, I don't want to divulge too much information in case you destroy the stone and or you release Galore, but it's an entity of alien intelligence. Let's just put it that way. And
I'll,
because of its alien origins, and because of what creature it is, I can't give too many hints. All I can say is that it is an abomination from far, far away.
I'll
Let's
be
just put it
honest
that
with you. I was
way.
about 3 seconds away from destroying that stone.
Good luck. You can't. There's only 2 ways of destroying the stone, and both ways of destroying the stone result in almost an entire party kill, like a total TPK.
Oh no! But I was about 3 seconds away from trying to smash it with something, but I looked at my inventory and I don't have anything to really smash it with.
So
I was about 3 seconds away from trying to do that.
So when Giacomo, correct me if I'm saying this wrong because I feel like I've been saying it wrong. Copel, or is it? What is it exactly, Ryan? Is it Giacomo Copel? Copel? Oh, he's muted. So it's no big
He
deal.
walked away. We're running an ad right now.
I honestly can't see.
Oh no, it's an ad for HBO Max. But yeah, I looked at my inventory and I was whatever. It says we're taking an ad break. That's funny. Hey, so apparently we're taking an ad break, Ryan. Oh, he can't hear me. To put his headphones on.
Oh my god, my dogs are wrestling each other because they want to freaking pounce on each other.
Is that what that is? Hey, we're back. Yeah, we just took like a 30-second ad break. That's funny.
Oh no.
Anyway, but yeah, I was gonna, after it got in my hands and I realized that I couldn't sleep. I was gonna smash it, but then I didn't have it. I didn't have anything in my inventory to smash it with, so that's why I stuck it back under his bed.
Archie Crate. Good boy. He's a good boy.
And I stuck it.
5 dogs are going crazy. One female dog is in heat.
Oh, and I realized yesterday why you thought I cast something, because I said I want to cast Persuasion, because I listened to it for a quick second.
Yeah. Good.
But I said I cast Persuasion. But yeah, I just want to persuade him. Hey, Ryan.
He might not be able to hear you because of the baby.
Well, no, he just put his headphones back on.
Yeah, what's up?
Apparently we ran like a 30-second ad break for HBO Max and some other stuff.
Oh, well, if you were watching, so he's finally switched over to having like subscribers and whatnot.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's an automatic ad that runs at the beginning of every stream that has the ability to get subscribers.
Oh no, it's no, but I mean we had already been talking and it ran.
Yeah, it does that.
Oh, but no, I'm just saying that it was just kind of funny. It was the first time I've seen it was like 3 commercials, all with like 30 seconds.
It's set now to where it like runs a bumper video ad before the stream comes on, and then it runs like a 30-second or a 1-minute ad like automatically during the stream. I think it's like one every couple of hours or every hour or something like that.
Yeah, you can set up 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or 90 minutes.
Yeah, Thomas had sent me a video about it, and there's a guy that was talking about how to get all that stuff set up, and it was actually pretty easy to follow. There's definitely some more to be set. And I don't know, I mean, for me, honestly, a lot of it comes down to just being able to create a situation where our players want to come and hang out and chat and have fun with us. And so a lot of these new things available are going to give us the ability to do stuff like the cheer coins, which have fun with like little games.
Oh yeah.
If people want to like I saw one channel where it forced the DM to do a reroll if you had 1,000 cheer coins.
Oh yeah.
Which
doubt.
I thought was pretty sweet.
No, I just thought it was funny because it was like, here's an ad for it. Just said all of a sudden I'm looking at the stream and all of a sudden it just went to like an HBO Max and then something else and then some other thing while Tommy and I were talking.
Yeah.
But you were saying you wanted to destroy the stone last night. You wanted to take something and smash it.
Yeah, that was my initial thinking, but then I just said, let me just stick it under his mattress again.
Yeah, that was honestly probably the most fun thing you did.
Yeah.
Wait, you put it under my mattress?
Yeah, it's under your mattress.
No, really? Did I miss that last night?
Yeah, I put it under your mattress, and I went to one of my hiding spots. Because I have hiding spots all around the city because I don't ever sleep in the mansion.
I really hate that mansion, dude.
I never sleep there. Well, I go do random shit at night that you don't know about.
So speaking of which, DM, random stuff at night and whatnot. If our players have been watching and looking at our overlay, they probably noticed that we have some faction tokens indicating which one of our player characters are involved in which factions. And I know one of the challenges about running Dragon Heist is the fact that it's very much an open sandbox.
Very much so.
In the early part of the game, of course, we were very much involved in doing side quests and things like that. And ultimately that rolled us into being a part of a faction. But in your opinion, do you feel like that's something as a DM that you would keep or throw out, or do you feel like you'd fill it with more linear story? And then my second part to that question is, and you don't have to answer since both Wes and I are players in the game, are factions coming back? And are there going to be any cool side quest type faction-y missions that weave their way into this main plot we have going on?
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
already kicked out of my faction, basically.
Well, your faction's dead for the most part, right?
Yeah.
So basically, as a DM, it and within the book, it prompts you to get the party involved in the factions and organizations.
Yeah.
Such as, and I'm just going to use the two that y'all are associated and affiliated with, the Brigandareth and the Zentarum. It suggests that you get everyone into a faction, and you carry them through a couple of their missions. For instance, every chapter that the party is playing through, every time you level up, there are faction quests that you're technically supposed to be going through. Like, I should have already sent y'all on a couple of other missions and jobs. But I started to notice kind of rather quickly that those jobs they weren't really interesting for y'all. Like y'all weren't
like the Dung Sweepers Guild quest.
Yeah, like that Dung Sweepers Guild quest. Like, basically, it's so time consuming because it says that you have 10 days. Like you have a whole week within Waters Deep that you're supposed to complete these quests, and it prompts the DM to basically say, oh, hey, the last day of the 10 days is when a large insectoid from down in the sewers has erupted from the sewers because of the corpses that are piling up and the fecal matter and whatnot that is down in the sewers, and that the party's supposed to get involved. Now,
Ashley, come here.
Mine were like quick and lucrative.
Yes. And what I did for that was, like, I feel like for the Dung Sweepers quest, I should have been like 2-3 days into it, right? Like, you run into an encounter, and then like it could have been like a group of Zentarum agents or Xanathar's guild members are scurrying through the sewers and whatnot, and you run into them and they've got like, a prisoner or something like that, or I could have done more with it, and I was just kind of playing it by the book, which, in my honest opinion, like, if you're running it, like, do whatever you want. Don't just like follow the book to the T. Like, there are handful of things that I did that were a completely different than what the book suggests. And like I I went in a direction that I felt was pleasing to me and to y'all. But you know, you guys gave me feedback, and you were like, "Hey, look, these extra quests, these side quests, man. Like, can we just like not focus? Like, I mean, literally, Wes, you even said you're like, hey, look, I understand that you're trying to give us experience, give us gold, and give us like items and stuff like that, but can we just focus on the main quest? And that's the thing is like I listened to you. You know, I took what you wanted and I literally just kind of shoved all those quests aside to give you the main story. And honestly, y'all have been enjoying it even more because it's made the game a little bit more faster of a pace. Because it's supposed to be, you all moving through the city, kind of getting used to every street, every twist, every turn, and just basically feeling as if the city of Waterdeep is in fact your home. Like it is your playground. And there's all these other different quests these side quests that I could send you on. But now that you're in the thick of it, like now that you're in the big kind of push to the end of the story, I honestly don't really see a point of introducing anything back into like any side quest back into it because it honest to God doesn't make any sense as to why I should. Because literally, you've got the stone. You just ran into the big bad. The hooded figure who was clearly a wizard that attacked all of you because you possessed the stone of Galore, and it plays in the back of my mind like is running some side quests really worth it? Like is it really like something that you all would be like needing at this moment? And the honest to God answer is no. You don't really need these side quests anymore, especially now that you have like a much larger thing to worry about. Like,
I mean,
Hazel?
not unless I can make some money, but
Yeah, and I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Like, there's things going on in the story. Like you haven't gone back to the Yawning Portal in a while. Like, if you go back to the Yawning Portal,
well, I might get killed there if I go back to the Yawning Portal.
You would not get killed because as long as your parole officer is rolling around with you, you should be relatively fine. And that's me being completely honest.
Oh yeah.
You've definitely upset people, and they don't like you at all, and they hope the worst for you because they now know who and what you are. They know now they know now that you're evil and that here's your dinner, buddy. You're gonna need a pill with that, okay? Sorry, I'm feeding my family right now. I just got done making dinner. What, buddy? No, you cannot buy anything off of Fortnite.
But like, I mean, that's the thing when you start talking about the factions and stuff. Like, I ruined my whole faction thing early on.
How did you ruin your faction alignment? I thought you did everything right. You were part of the Shintarum, and your leader was Davil Starsong, the Wood Elf, right?
Yeah, but I think I pushed things a little too far.
Well, not everyone can handle you. You're a little bit intense, man.
Yeah, like
I mean, let's just be honest and call a spade a spade.
Yeah, like your character, like how you play your character is like she's a very like headstrong. Like I don't don't answer to anybody but myself. I'm my own woman. You know, you're one of those strong individuals who doesn't take crap from anybody. Literally, it could be a demigod, and you're basically going to tell it off.
I want to know. I mean, and granted, maybe this is just a little bit of you sneaking in your own personality, but how did you come up with? I know we've talked. You random rolled the whole chaotic background situation with Misty, but like for real, where did her penchant for wanting to get into trouble and her utter lack of like give a shit for people came from?
She doesn't respect anyone. She just doesn't. Like, she does whatever she like Tommy said, she does whatever she wants to do, and usually she can get away with it. Like you know, like I said, you all have no idea. I haven't slept in the manor ever since we've been there.
Yeah.
I sneak out every night. I mean, Tommy and I need to talk about this more, but I sneak out of the manor every night.
So is that
you do?
Is that
you actually do?
Is that why you ended up shooting Giacomo with the crossbow? Because I almost caught you in the act of leaving through your window.
I might have just gotten in because it was the morning. And you just also like just kept bothering me.
I just kept bothering you. All right, cool.
Yeah,
I'll take
and
it.
then you opened my door, and I was
Giacomo
like,
is
"What?"
quite bothersome.
But then you opened my door, and so that's why I shot you. Yeah, I haven't. Tommy and I were talking about this.
What were you talking about?
A little bit. That I you know, once I said that I hid the stone underneath your mattress, and I went to one of my hiding spots, and I said, Tommy, we've never talked about this. This was after the game last night.
Yeah.
I said, we never talked about this. I said, but I haven't, you know, I have hiding places all over where I go sleep.
Yeah.
So and I totally forgot about the 300 feet thing from sleeping from you.
Mm-hmm.
Like anywhere sleeping that 300 feet from you. I was like, oh, I'm not worried about that. Like, that's probably something we probably should have talked about, but so I'm gonna actually put on a map where my hiding spots are.
Oh, on the Waterdeep map?
For Tommy. Because that way, what'd you say yesterday, Tommy? You're like, that way you'll know, like, oh, something happened here, and I might know about it.
Yep.
And so when he starts talking about, you know, learning the streets and all that stuff, that's all I do for several hours a night. And then I get my, you know, my 8 hours of rest.
Yeah. And kind of cutting back to will the you know, side quests come back? Will the faction stuff come back? That's all on y'all. They're still there. The factions still have jobs for you to do. If you are looking for work, they've always got it. You know, you can always find work within Waters Deep. It will never go away.
I can't go anymore, right?
No, actually, you can.
Oh,
so
okay.
Again, intent, wink, wink, go back to the Yawning Portal.
And now, who's to say I haven't been back to the Yawning Portal as disguised by somebody else? Because I have disguised self.
Wait, so are you scheming on going back there to try to get things settled with Davil Star Song, or are you trying to go back to the Yawning Portal so you can make right with Mertz, or are you trying to go back to the Yawning Portal because you just want to take on some jobs, like some good old wet work?
I literally just thought of this now, but I have disguised self, so I could walk in the Yawning Portal anytime as anyone.
Well, you know, you could go into the Yawning Portal disguised as like Dilbert or Gilbert because it's someone you've already seen. Because it has to be someone you've already seen.
I mean, it could be.
Oh, really?
No, I can just. I mean, it could be anyone I see on the street. Yep. Or just decide to change myself into whatever.
Yeah.
I could have a whole nother life.
So do you think you're going to carry Misty into the Dungeons of the Mad Mage?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I'm
That's
looking
where I'm
forward to
actually.
that, man.
That's where I'm useful.
That's where you're useful. Yeah, hey, get out of the cat food. Sorry about that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's where I'm.
there's
I
something to
think
be
I'm
said
actually
about a
useful
cat that's
man-made.
going to get herself arrested every 5 seconds in Waterdeep, but one that's like the most elite, supercharged thief, bank robber, trap springer.
I mean, I did what 41 points of damage to the big bad in 2 shots yesterday.
Yeah, the simulacrum, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know,
I mean,
man.
that's my whole goal.
that whole scenario, dude, like really picked up, especially after we fought that guy. Like, I feel like the stakes are pretty high now because we're going to be haunted by this stone until we do something about it, or until we actually use it to accomplish the mission, if you will, for lack of a better way of putting it.
Well, now I know too where a place to get potions, a place to get all sorts of stuff.
Oh, that's right, because it showed you it took you to a place to be healed.
Yeah. And it took me to a magic. Well, it just showed me where it was, right?
Oh, okay. So it didn't actually teleport him there. It just, like, in his mind, it showed him the exact location and the spot for this healing, like, apothecary place.
Yep.
I gotcha.
Yeah, which in
fawnery.
Well, it's funny because you're like, and underneath the desk, like, I'll go pay for everything. I don't care. I'll pay for it because I have plenty of gold. But I know where to go to get certain stuff now.
Oh yeah, and that's and see what you unbeknownst to you when you touch the stone, and you're like, I want to know this. It activates its key mechanic, which is called Legends Lore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that came up last night.
And when you activate Legends Lore, the lore cannot lie, and it must show you or tell you everything that you wish to know. And you get three charges a day when a charge is used up at the end of the day. Well, at dawn is when a 1d3 is rolled to determine how many charges come back.
Oh, yeah.
So, like,
it looks like we got some new friends in our stream. Hey, Droop Dog. Hey, Durf B. Thanks for stopping by. We're all Dominion Heroes. We're just talking about last night's Waterdeep, the Dragon Heist game, and we were going to do a quick review of the new release campaign book, The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. So stick with us and sound off in the chat if you have any questions for us. We're a pretty new streaming group, but we've been gaming together here in Virginia for quite some time. So again, yeah, I mean, we've got a couple of our players in the chat too, so feel free to ask questions. We'll see if we can answer them live for you.
Yeah, definitely. Please feel free. Ask
so
away.
I have a question.
Uh-oh. What do you got?
So since I put the stone underneath Jacobo's mattress, see, is it his now again?
Yeah, do I get to attune to it again for just being in its presence, or do I physically have to pick it up and voluntarily choose to attune to it?
So, like any sentient object, it has a personality. And what I love about the Stone of the Lore is that it gets to choose who attunes to it.
Okay.
Naturally, it's going to let anyone attune to it, but if it starts to get annoyed or irritated, or it feels that you're an idiot, it will literally pick a new person to attune to.
Really?
Like, it's, yeah.
I should have put it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's why last night. Go ahead.
I should have put it under Upton's bed.
Oh my gosh, that would have been so freaking funny, dude.
Well, you have to remember that this is an alien entity. It's been around, as it stated last night, since the beginning of time itself, and it's stated that it will be there till the end of time. And it.
You still there? Hello? Hold on, guys. I can't hear anything. I'm sorry. Hey, hold on one sec, guys. I can't hear anything that anybody's saying, and I don't know what's going on. Stupid. Hello.
Camera's froze up.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking better now. I think it's coming in better. Hello? Hey, I think is it coming in better for you now?
I mean, I can hear you fine.
Okay, excellent. So Wes, you were asking a question, and Thomas, you were talking about the stone. I'm so sorry for the issue on my end. I didn't mean to derail things.
No, that's okay. But yeah, so like with the stone, I mean, it's literally been like the stone of Galore has existed. I mean, not necessarily the stone, but Galore has existed since the beginning of time, and Galore will exist when time itself ends. So, I mean, it considers itself to be a god.
Oh, Galore does?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it literally saw the beginning of creation, and it'll probably be there to watch the world burn. But the real question is, now that you've got it, you've been wanting this thing for a while. What are you going to do with it now that you've got it?
Oh my gosh, that's a hard question, especially after all the craziness that we just experienced. I don't know if I want to hold on to it for very much longer, truth be told.
That could be a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, I hope that, everyone's on board with the sense of urgency that Giacomo has now to find this stupid treasure, So hopefully we can find the treasure and then destroy the stone or release the stone or give the stone back to somebody else, maybe sell the stone.
Well, it wants to be freed.
Oh, so even though I'm a complete bumbling fool and I made it angry and annoyed it technically does want help being released from the object it's trapped inside.
Well, yeah, if you've been trapped inside of a physical object for thousands of years, wouldn't you want to be let out?
I could see that, but hopefully it doesn't hold any grudges against us.
One hopes.
So, you guys want to switch over and preview this Wilds Beyond the Witchlight book with me real quick?
Yes.
What is it?
All right, man. So I'm going to move my mic here real quick, so hopefully it'll pick up a little better. And,
there you
go. But before we go over to the book,
yeah, what's up?
Did you guys enjoy the role play and stuff like that?
Dude, absolutely, man. That's probably one of the best Waterdeep games we've had so far, honestly.
Thank you. Like, honestly, okay, so this is something that I do with you guys pretty often. Not the whistling. What would you say was your favorite thing that you'd like to see more of, and then what was one thing that you'd like to see a little less of?
Dude, that's a tough question.
Well, I mean, my answer is always more combat, but I did like the
only combat.
I mean, you could give me a game with a million combats and I'd be happy. But no, I like the I really did like the role play with the stone between me and Giacomo. How we played hot potato.
Yeah.
And then I just gave it back to him, and then I ran away.
Yeah, you're like, I can't deal. I cannot deal.
No, and I think honestly, dude, to his point, you know, balancing the role play with combat encounters and just making it to where we're invested in the story, that went a long way for me, at least, is, you know, to have the feeling of, you know, here's this object that we know literally nothing about, but we've rushed to get it ever since we heard about it from I want to say, wasn't it that gnome investigator that first mentioned the Stone of Glore to us when we ended up going to the Growlin Manor?
Actually, it was Rainier Neverember.
Oh, the son of Daggold.
Yeah.
Okay. So he mentioned the stone way back when, and we've been holding on to this idea of finding this stupid thing ever since, basically.
Hazel, come here. Yeah. Hazel, come here. Come here, Hazel. Come here, Hazel.
Well, hopefully.
Okay, Ryan, real quick.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Just we're running an ad break now, so I don't think I can hear us.
Well,
Hazel, come here.
So the ad break, the way they do it is it staggers out. So basically, like, our live viewers will get delayed by 30 seconds or whatever, however long the ad is. So we don't actually have to mute ourselves when the ads run.
Yeah, we don't have to do anything.
We keep talking, and then they get the delay. Once the ad's over, it picks right back up with us.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I just wondered how that worked.
Yeah, I don't know how they end up staggering it, but like if the ad's 30 seconds, then the people in the chat and people watching would be 30 seconds behind the live footage for us. So like we're talking about this right now. Once this 30-second or 1 minute ad finishes, the people that come back out in to watch the stream are going to hear us talking about this.
Yeah. So thank you for the feedback, even though literally both of y'all never gave me anything bad.
No, dude. I mean, honestly, when the game runs
bad Troll Score Manor, the manor.
So basically, burn Troll Skull to the ground. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I told you I'd burn it down.
The only thing that I would say as far as critical feedback, and this isn't even necessarily on you because I know just from running games, you know, with you as a player and just the little bit of experience I have as a DM myself, it is hard to keep the sense of urgency wrapped up in the story, especially when you're trying to slog through some combat. And last night's encounter was super deadly, and it definitely raised the stakes for us as far as whether or not we could survive, and kind of beat the cockiness down a little bit to think that we could take on anything without being scratched. But I would just say for combat, like, you're a very, very vivid storyteller, and you did such a great job with the descriptions. I could tell that, you know, initially we wanted to just kind of get through that, so I appreciate it, and the pacing is really hard to do. But I know that you'll have something pretty epic for us planned when we get into some of these bigger, you know, one-on-one or group encounters that are especially so important to like the resolution of the end of the game. But other than that, man, that's really it.
Well, I'll say too, with that combat, that was a once we all got knocked unconscious. Very good use of using Ogden.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then the City Watch coming too.
Well, that was a lucky roll.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, that we got lucky on that.
No shit.
You're lucky on the City Watch coming.
Uh-huh.
Can't hate on that.
Like, basically, like in the book, it says like there are things that the big bad is afraid of, and the main thing is, and don't metagame this, is basically being seen.
Okay.
By certain people.
Yeah, sure.
And as a leader of the Zentarum, basically being above Davil Starsong, all he wants to do is go along in this world trucking and not being seen.
Makes sense.
If he can go without being seen, then his job being within, like, controlling the Zentarum from where he's at is that much stronger.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't want to give too much away, but
no, and I don't want any more information. The fact that we've been consistently surprised these last two games has honestly like blown me away. I have not expected half of the twists that we've run into recently.
Yeah, and I've honestly
that was literally a dice roll save.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Basically, what I did was because of all of the commotion, because of all of like the magic being tossed around, he knew that once he casted that lightning bolt, it was going to be a dire situation. Like he needed to put some decent damage on the board to kind of possibly knock a player or two out in order to obtain the stone. But by doing so, well, not necessarily. It was yes to bring you down in order to obtain the stone, but what had happened was y'all had kept him at bay for so long that, and not just that, but all of the spells being slung by RJ.
And then my damage.
Yeah. It really put him in a very precarious position. And then I basically took a D4 and I rolled it.
For a random event to happen?
Not random. Basically, I had decided that the combat was only going to go on for a certain number of turns.
Okay, that makes sense.
And what had happened would be, just like in a city, there are police that patrol. You know, how long would it take for those police to get there? Right?
After they saw and heard the effects of these spells being slung all over the place.
Yep. And Waterdeep is such a heavily populated environment, dense, urban jungle, that these City Watch would just flock. And when the big bad counterspelled and shot the spell up into the air, kind of deflecting it from Olan Reese, that was basically like a giant flare shooting up into the sky, which caused a whole lot of the City Watch to just condensely merge in one location. And the moment that he saw that City Watch were approaching, he was like, "I'm out."
Deuces.
So yep. So, and I rolled a d4 to determine how many turns it would be until he would, after the big fight between him and Olan, and it was literally I rolled a 1.
I wish you would have rolled. I wish you would have rolled a d4 to not have the stone give us the sleep penalty.
So with that, that was all me, and there were a lot more disadvantages that you could have gotten for taking the stone. Like, the advantages of having the stone are all of the stone's natural benefits.
Yeah.
And then I rolled to see what overall effect you would gain, and I rolled and I got immunity. Well, not immunity, but resistance to diseases.
Yeah.
So that was an immense amount. That's incredibly handy. I mean, it might not be right now, but down the road it would be. And then the disadvantage is which is honestly the most lethal option, which is the one that I went with, which is literally no one can get a long rest or a short rest within 300 feet of the.
Absolutely brutal.
I got my long rest.
Dude, exhaustion is no joke, man. I just don't know how we're gonna work it all out. But we'll figure it out.
Like, you get sleep, but nobody else gets sleep, whoever's attuned to it.
Yeah.
So you can choose to take turns, but by then, if you've got like a 7-party member group, like, someone's dying on day 6. Or they have to go stay at another inn 300 feet away.
Right.
But anyway, about Waterdeep Dragon Heist, I could literally talk to you nonstop about this game.
Yeah, it's been fun, man.
Let's get into this book, man.
All right. So,
can you straighten the book? Sorry, OCD me. Can you turn your camera like a little bit, like counterclockwise?
Like that?
The book's crooked.
I know, because I don't have enough room on my desk. Quit
Sorry.
fucking with me, bro.
It's my OCD, dude.
Dude,
I swear
if
to
I could
God.
help it, I would.
Other way. No. Oh God. Oh God.
Hey, look, I'm going to be picking the book up and showing it up close and showing it to the camera here. It'll be okay. All right. So, obviously, as you can see, I got the standard cover. I could not find the variant cover in stock, so I guess this must be pretty popular. There really were only a handful on the shelf. As you can see in the screen there, that's what the variant cover is supposed to look like. And it's kind of
Where did you buy it from?
I'm not going to say.
You don't want to give a free plug?
No, not to a big box retailer.
Oh.
No, so the alternate cover art's supposed to look like one of the promotional posters from the actual circus, the Wild at Witchlight, and so it's like a displacer beast, I guess. So far, and I have not been able to read a whole lot of this because I literally picked it up at 5 o'clock today. It's gonna be awesome. It seems to me like it's the first book that they've done that's gonna be a very linear style of adventure, but they have two different adventure hooks that bring you into the game. So obviously, you know, some of the basic stuff here talks a little bit about how the story is set up. And do you guys want to know anything about it, or do you want to?
I don't even know what the book is.
Okay.
So is it adventure? Like,
yeah,
is it...
so it's a full-on adventure module. And it's a lot, you know, Waterdeep's an adventure module, Rime of the Frostmaiden's an adventure module. So this is a whole campaign book that centers around this traveling circus from the Feywild. And this traveling circus occasionally like makes landfall, for lack of a better way of putting it, and appears within your realm. And the book explains that as well. Like you could use the Forgotten Realms, or you could make it your own homebrew, you know, universe or Earth or whatever. But the idea essentially is that the whole thing takes place in the Feywild, and your characters visiting the circus, being given these tickets to go to it.
Joseph, please stop.
Essentially, there are these two carnival owners, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. And on the front cover here, you can see this is Mr. Witch. He's what do they call them again? They're those special kinds of elves that come from the Shadar-kai, excuse me.
Oh.
So he's a Shadar-kai, and then his partner is Mr. Light.
I was gonna say Fladrin.
He's the other Shadar-kai owner of this circus. And from what I gather reading through it, they've basically made a deal with these three hags, and these three hags are protecting them and their complete and total control, their fist, their grip on the carnival. But more than that, the three hags have basically taken the Feywild and they've divided it up into like 3 individual sections that each of them has a rulership over. And the book goes into how they managed to do that. And I'm not going to really give any of that away, because some of you, well, both of you, I would like to be in this game because it's actually going to feed into our Candlekeep a little bit. And for people that are going to play this game, I just don't want to give away too many details. The thing that I thought was great about this book is, so it talks about how to use the poster map here, and essentially it goes into how you get this fold out poster, which I haven't taken out of the book yet, and I don't know if I will just yet. And the poster, of course, covers the layout of the carnival, and I think it has some indexes on it. What the heck? We'll go ahead and open it. So let's see here. You can always buy another book, right? Actually, they made this one tear out. I kind of like how Green Ronin Press does theirs and Kobold Press, where instead of being a tear out map, it's like stuck in there with a little bit of glue. This is sketching me out trying to get it out of the book.
While you're trying to do that, I was going to say, does this have this one of those ones that has like different races and stuff? And...
yeah, so I can flip forward to that if you'd like. There's a bunch of extra stuff that they added for it, but the two that they talk about at first are the fairy race And it goes
not eating my ice cream.
Goes into what their capabilities are, their physical descriptions, and then unique characteristics about them. And then the other race is the Harengon, which the Harengon are these like bunny rabbit people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard about that.
And I think that they have some other stuff too, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe that's later in the book. The layout was kind of interesting for this. Oh, but yeah, let me show you the map thing that they were talking about.
That's funny.
Wait, even before that. So there's 2 backgrounds that they added. They have Fey Lost, and I'll go ahead and read these because they're pretty interesting. So Fey Lost is right here. It says, you grew up in the Feywild after disappearing from your home plane as a child. Perhaps you were spirited away by a kindly Fey who thought you would be destined for great things. Perhaps you stumbled through a Fey crossing by chance during a twilight stroll in the woods. Perhaps you were kidnapped by evil Fey, but escaped from their clutches. Whatever the manner of your disappearance, you gradually fell under the Feywild's spell and learned a little about the nature of the mercurial tricksters that dwell there. So this kind of, to me, even the artwork, if you look at it, it looks like children. It definitely reminds me of that whole like Peter Pan Neverland vibe. It says, when you finally returned to your home plane, you did not come back unchanged. You were haunted by the fact that the Feywild, a mirror world hidden behind a mere twist of perception, is only a hair's breadth away. Although your memories of the Feywild grow fainter with each passing day, your heart swells with a mixture of fear and joy at the prospect of one day venturing back to the plane of the fairy, your home away from home. And it gives the characteristics down here for like Fey marks. I thought that was pretty neat.
Cool.
And then the other one, which this plays directly into the Carnival background, and it's a little bit more sinister, is, and I don't know if y'all can see it very well.
The Fey mask?
Witchlight hand.
Oh, okay.
So the Witchlight hand are basically hands for the Carnival. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but essentially it kind of describes like maybe you snuck away to the Carnival when you were a little kid and the Witchlight had come to your town. And so, you know, you hated your parents and you ran away to the circus, essentially. And it kind of insinuates that there is a little bit of a chaotic character trait to these people. And the same thing is true with the 2 antagonists, Mr. Wild and Mr. Light, or Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. They seem like they're sort of on the edge between good and bad. But yeah, the map was really cool, so I'll see if I can show you, and then I'll make a second attempt at taking it out. So it says basically that there's this big poster map, and as you get into the book, there's a layout map for the Carnival. But one thing it tells you about is how to track time using the map, because the Feywild has a strange timeline. There's little tokens you can place on the map that indicate what time of day it is. And then they also have an indication of the current mood in the Carnival. So the characters in the story that are NPCs will react and behave according to the behaviors of the player characters. And different quest chains you take and things that you do will influence the mood at the Carnival. And the mood determines how crazy or insane the performers treat you. It can go from like fun and jovial to like sinister and weird and evil. And the artwork's nuts. So it's like, where is it at here? There's there's a story tracker in the back. It advises.
Well, I think
go ahead.
As I think I told you, like doesn't pertain to the book so much, but you know, I told you like my monthly game that
you've been to the Feywild with your DM and homebrew game.
We've been several times, and we thought we were there for like 3 days, and it turned out it was a year.
Jeez, yeah. And I think that that's kind of what they're hinting at in this too, is that there's supposed to be some sort of time anomalies or compression going on between all the little like fairy tale dimensions that make up the Feywild. So I'll get to the map part because I think it's a little further back in the book. The 2 adventure hooks, they have one which is called Lost Things. I briefly skimmed this, but again, it kind of reminded me of Peter Pan and the Lost Boys type deal. Your adventurers are given motivation to return to the carnival to seek out a childhood item of
Turn it down, Joseph.
a childhood item that holds, you know, sentimental value that was lost in the carnival. And there's some different things that play into that with the witches. The other one, which I actually am a little bit more interested in, is the Warlock Quest. And I'll go ahead and read a little bit of that. It says,
Nice.
says, use this hook if your players don't like the idea of characters having to find things that they lost as children and would prefer a more traditional adventure setup. The hook requires that one or more characters in your party has a background unconnected to the Witchlight Carnival. If you're using the Adventure Time story tracker, you won't need to fill out the Lost Things section, just leave it blank. So in the back of the book, there's like the story tracker, which I don't think any DM's going to actually be writing in their book. So I imagine that these handouts are going to be scanned and probably digital to be used. Yeah, and see, there's all these like curses and conditions that you can get and different things that can happen. Like it's the stage fright lines for like when you're performing. So it says, if in this preamble, an aging warlock named Madrick Rosloff tells the characters, those not working at the Witchlight Carnival, about a fairy realm called Prismere, which can be reached only by finding and using a Fey crossing in the carnival. Madrick says that his archfey patron Zyblina rules Prismere. He begs the characters to journey to the domain and find out what happened to Zyblina, with whom he has lost contact. If you like, you can replace Madrick Rosloff with a different NPC who better suits your campaign. So I don't want to go into who Zyblina is, but she's in both the adventures, whether it's Warlock Quest or the quest called Lost Things. Let's see here real quick. I'm going to see if I can show you the map. I'll skip ahead a little bit. Oh, come here.
I assume they have like other like crazy new monsters and all sorts of stuff in this.
Yeah, above and beyond just the 2 owners of the carnival having stat blocks and them being pretty high level CR encounters, it did. Oh crap!
Don't break it.
I totally just did. Not cool, man. Not cool.
Yeah, I'm joining the room with the camera.
Just 3D print another one.
I can't 3D print a map.
Oh no.
Yeah, dude. Hey, it's not getting sold. I'm keeping it. It's mine. Although it does make me cry a little.
Oh, you totally tore that up.
Yeah, dude, I did. I very much, most definitely did, trying to get this stupid map out.
Oh,
Dude.
God.
Oh, no.
Hey, we should write Chris Perkins and be like, yo, what's the deal with these maps being not very well perforated?
Well, they gotta make their money somehow.
Yeah. Alright, so let's get into this. I'm gonna close that because I'm sad. So yeah, okay. If you look down here, it's the mood tracker. So the wand points to start here, and then as events in the carnival take place and your players do different things, you could move this way in a negative direction or that way in a positive direction. And I don't know if it shows better here. Y'all can kind of see like the crazy looking faces with the
Oh, wow.
yeah. And then the time tracker is on the opposite corner. Yeah. So this is supposed to help you track time, and see how it says I'm reading this backwards, so hold on 1 second. Welcome gifts, big top extravaganza, and the crowning of the Witchlight monarch. So your characters start each day at the carnival. When you're in the carnival, this is the series of events that the carnival goes through for its patrons and visitors. And so apparently, like the welcome gifts thing, your characters get a ticket to the carnival, and the first thing that happens is basically like barkers from the carnival go around and they hand out gifts to people, and those gifts are trinkets or things or odds and ends. But then the one thing that they do as well is they randomly draw a person from the selection of people who were given a gift, and that gives them the chance to potentially go ahead.
Can we just give a shout out to Valcom Zion for 100 cheers?
Oh, what's up, Zion? Thanks for the cheers, man. Appreciate it,
Thank
dude.
you, man.
It means a lot. Thanks for sticking around. Yeah, if you're late to the game or late to the stream, go back and watch if you want to know a little bit more about Tommy's Waterdeep game, and he explains quite a bit about some of the stuff that he did with the Stone of Galore and where our characters are at currently. It was great. So we just kind of got into this book. We're talking about some of the new spoilers and teasers, and I don't want to give away too much, and I've only read a little bit.
Shouldn't have pulled that map out.
Dude, I know, man. I'm mad at myself. Oh, yeah, so like if your characters are called out for being one of the people who receive that particular gift in this like lottery at the end of the carnival, then they get a chance to meet with the Witchlight monarch, which is Mr. Witch or Mr. Light. Let me see if I can find what the. So yeah, this is like one of the carnival tickets. The artwork is incredible, man. Do you guys have any questions for me? I don't know a whole lot about it, but is there something you'd like me to look up? I know, Wes, you said something about monsters. We could certainly look at that. Oh, Darklings. Yeah, they make a pretty big appearance in this too.
Personally, what I'd really love to know about is the bunny folk.
Okay, let's go check them out. They are called Paragon, and it's right here. I'll go ahead and try to read it for you as well. It says, Paragon originated in the Feywild, where they spoke Sylvan and embraced the spirit of freedom and travel. In time, these rabbit folk hopped into other worlds, bringing the Fey realm's exuberance with them and learning new languages as they went. Paragons are bipedal, with characteristic long feet of the rabbits they resemble and fur in a variety of colors. They share the keen sense and powerful legs of leporine creatures and are full of energy. Like a wound-up spring, Paragons are blessed with little fey luck, and they often find themselves a few fortunate feet away from danger during adventures. So it says, Paragon traits. As a Paragon, you have the following racial traits. Creature type, you are humanoid. Size, you are medium or small. You choose the size when you select the race. Speed, your walking speed is 30. Hair trigger, you can add a proficiency bonus to your initiative rolls. Leporine senses, you have proficiency in the perception skill. Lucky footwork, when you fail a dexterity saving throw, you can use your reaction to roll a d4 and add it to the save, potentially turning the failure into a success. You can't use this reaction if you're prone or your speed is 0. And then rabbit hop. As a bonus action, you can jump a number of feet equal to 5 times your proficiency bonus without provoking opportunity attacks. You can use this trait only if your speed is greater than 0. Can use it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Holy cow, this thing's getting away from some combat. What do you think about that? You don't provoke opportunity attacks.
That's basically like the hit and run. I mean, that's pretty damn nice.
Yeah,
That
that's
makes a great fighter or a barbarian.
heck yeah, man.
I mean, hell, even an excellent rogue.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, especially like take that multi-class, some very adept or dexterous characters. I mean, hell, put a monk together with like a rogue, and then have flurry of blows and some sneak attack going on with the ability to jump in and jump out. You'd be like a bunny ninja, like Usagi Jimbo. You remember Usagi Jimbo? The little
No.
oh, it's like Ninja Turtles. It was like a anime looking rabbit that had his ears tied back like a samurai top knot, and he was a rabbit samurai.
Yeah.
Yeah, Usagi just means bunny in Japanese. Yeah, let's see if we can get into anything else cool in here. Of course, they give you their pronunciation guide for all the crazy, insane freaking names that they've put in. Oh, let's check on this. So, our friend Tasha makes an appearance with her Feyweld witch name of Igwilv. Iggwilv. Igwilv. You guys would remember her from our last Candlekeep homebrew mashup game. And the Demon Lord Grazit. Oh yeah, here we go. This is what it's talking about. A carnival map. On the poster of the carnival, use a miniature figurine or some other tracker token where each character is located at any given time. If the characters split up, the tokens will make it easier to keep track of everyone's location in the carnival. The poster map has places to track two crucial elements, the passage of time and the carnival's mood. Tracking time. The Witchlight Carnival opens at dusk and runs for 8 hours, ending just before dawn. When the characters enter the carnival, place a D8 at the start of the track in the upper left corner of the poster map with the number 1 facing up. Move the die to the next space, and at the end of each hour in game, and turn the die so that the uppermost face shows the hour that is now beginning. Don't worry about managing things down to the miniature or down to the minute. If the players and their characters seem to be having fun, you can slow down the passage of time and give them time to enjoy the carnival's attractions. If the game starts to lag or the characters spend a lot of time engaging in the same activity, advance the die to the next hour. 3 events take place every night at a particular hour. So that's what was marked here with the welcome gifts, the big top extravaganza, and then the crowning of the Witchlight Monarch. So yeah, I mean, basically I get that, but what I don't understand, and maybe Thomas you can shed some light on this, especially having played some of the older D&D campaign settings and rules, how do you all, and Wes, you may have some experience too just from your games, how do you all handle the passage of time when it pertains to like an hour of in-game events versus an hour of real events?
Real quick, I'd like to thank Valcom Zion.
What's up, Zion?
Subscribed as a tier 1.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks for subbing, man. We really appreciate it. We're still pretty new and we're getting things figured out, but stick around with us, man. More fun to come.
Thank you.
Okay.
And what was the question? How do you...
Yeah, so how do you all prefer to track time as far as like an hour having elapsed of in-game time, not necessarily like real session time on the clock for players at the table? Because that's one thing I never quite understood. And I'll admit that. I know in combat, a round of combat is supposed to be 1 minute, and each person's turn is supposed to encompass like 6 seconds in the real world.
No, one round is 6 seconds, dude.
No, he said that like a combat.
A round of combat is a minute.
It's like
each
a
person's
minute.
turn is 6 seconds.
That's why most of the spells last a minute. Is what he's saying.
I have to double check.
No, that's what. But that's why like bless or anything, they last like a minute.
Yeah, 1 round of combat is the amount of time it takes to go through every player, character, and monster in the initiative order, and everyone does their turns.
It's 6 seconds.
No, your
one round.
Your turn.
Yes, I have it right here.
What?
No, rounds and turns. A round represents about 6 seconds of in-game work.
Right, but he said any like a normal combat's like a minute.
The game organizes the chaos of combat into a cycle of rounds and turns. A round represents about 6 seconds. Okay.
So what they're saying is
one-
that if you were in there perceiving combat taking place in real life, that enemies and player characters alike would be slinging spells and making attacks, and it would be 6 seconds of real in-person time.
Yes.
But then we slow it down as player characters by not having our turns ready.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that makes sense. So I don't know where I got the 1 minute from. Is that just a spell duration thing? Maybe
no, because
a minute is 10 rounds, right? That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because most spells last, like something like Bless or Spirit Guardian, something like that. It lasts for a minute, so that's what a typical combat would be.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So then, how would you think you would do this, Thomas, to track the time? How do you count an hour of in-game time and not an hour of real-world time?
So, I mean, honestly, how I typically do it is I assess on like what has been done. Okay. I take value on the activities that have been spent, in a day. So like, if you're walking a couple of miles, right? Like 1 mile, a person typically can walk a mile in about 15 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So if the party is moving through the forest at, an average speed, not being hasted or uh traveling with not a rogue, a ranger or a druid or someone of that nature, they're probably moving through the forest at 2 miles per hour.
Okay.
Like like or give or take, because the average human being walks at 15, like not 15, it's like 5 to 7 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And so it's, for me, it's based off of length of what each individual action could be taking place. Conversations, like for instance, this conversation that we're having right now is has been going on for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
you know and in game you could essentially say that this was, give or take, an hour or two, where a simple quick, like, hey, hey, pay, like, what's going on here, what have you, um all that, like, simple banter back and forth is like mere seconds. So
So you're
it
saying
all
we moved up to a
boils
second hour? So
pretty much.
I'm tracking our time in the Witchlight Carnival. So basically what I'm getting from that is you're saying that there's not necessarily a strictly enforced or written rule about how to calculate 1 hour in game time. It's more or less like the DM saying, all right, this would comprise about an hour's worth of player and non-player character interaction. And so I'm going to just arbitrarily, as the DM, say, okay, after this fight, it's been about an hour's worth of time. Or after you met with the ticket booth people to get a ticket for the carnival, already 1 hour's passed or something.
Like, hell, like, you could even mess with people by saying, like, oh, you have to wait in line to get, like, speaking about the ticket booth,
Yeah.
you literally have to wait in line and there's like 20 people in front of you. Like, anyone who has waited in a line knows that time feels like it's moving so much slower because you're patiently waiting, and then it's like the moment that you get through that door, and you're inside the carnival, it's like time speeds up. You know what I mean? Like, time ends up flying way faster when you're doing something, compared to when you're just sitting still.
Dude,
Well,
And you
and
could
I'll
that.
and I'll just say too, like my monthly game I have, like I have a ship, so
Yeah.
we go sail places, and it might be like 2 days for us to get places. But then that 2 days
Oh yeah.
could be done in 30 seconds
Yeah. But you still
because
would
we just roll to
you would
see.
still
We just
count
roll
it
to
as
see. Yeah, we count it as 2 days, and so basically every time we get on the ship, like we get long rests unless we get attacked or whatever. But we kind of blow through that in like 30 seconds, depending on if we get attacked or not.
so there's your
And
ticket
see, like,
booth.
That's pretty cool.
So basically, you're like, come into the carnival this way. This is a pretty big map, though. I could see myself putting minis on this, or printing out with a 3D printer, or using dye, or those little glass gems that you used to use, Thomas. I could see the glass gems working great for this to track like where people are in the carnival. Go ahead, dude. Sorry.
I have to mute my camera because my son he's literally trying to sneak onto the stream. Give me 1 second.
I got you, dude. You're covered. Are you guys looking forward to playing in this? I guess Tom step off for a second. Yeah, so let's see here. I guess we can read a little bit of the beginning of it. So it says, the Witchlight Carnival is a fairground of kaleidoscope tents and wagons crewed by wondrous beings, including many denizens of the Feywild. This is no ordinary carnival. It uses magic to travel from world to world across the material plane, visiting each world once every 8 years and setting up business on the outskirts of populated areas. The carnival spends a few days at each location, then packs up and moves to another location on the same world until the decision is made to leave that world and visit the next. The carnival includes a Fey crossing, allowing travel from the Feywild domain of Prismere. The characters are free to explore the carnival as they please. There are many paths through this chapter, so it can play out differently each time you run it. And it gives advice for the DMs. Familiarize yourself with the layout of the carnival on the map, which obviously we can tell when I unfolded it. There's a ton of different locations. I had shown on the top camera earlier that it looks to me as though the first main location you'll end up at is the actual ticket booth. And there's the ticket booth. It looks like a teacup.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So this is kind of cool too, because it gives you sort of insight into how your characters would get the ticket. Does the characters have an ally in the carnival? A planeswalking gnome bard named Eliwick Tumblestrum. The characters don't know Tumblestrum, but she knows them, because her lute has magic strings that whisper secrets to her as she plucks them. These strings guided the gnome bard to the carnival and revealed to Tumblestrum that the characters' fates are intertwined with the fate of Prismere. She has bought a ticket for each character who isn't a carnival employee already. The tickets are waiting at the booth by the entrance. Tumblestrum can be found in the Feasting Orchard, described later in the chapter, and serves as a helpful guide for the characters who need direction. This is what it says about the mood. The character's actions in the Witchlight Carnival can affect the overall mood of the carnival. When a character arrives at the carnival, place a token on the starting space and track in the lower right corner of the poster map. The token moves right or left on the track as the carnival's atmosphere changes for better or worse. Oh yeah, here we go, Wes. So, Mr. Witchlight, and then stat block. It looks like he is a CR what? He's a CR3. Not too bad.
Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing.
He's got a cane as a melee weapon, spell casting. It looks like he's got a handful of spells and a blessing of the Raven Queen, where he can teleport. So that should be pretty fun. Wouldn't want to.
I got a character can beat that.
Yeah. Oh, look at this guy. He looks rather fancy. Mr. Light. He is.
Oh, look.
What's up? He's also a CR3.
They're not really that like powerful, but
No, they're not that. Yeah,
they
that's
don't
nothing.
Yeah, and I think
like
it's probably one of
Well,
those
but
situations where you're not really supposed to be fighting these guys, maybe?
if they have a stat block, you can kill them.
yeah,
Well, yeah, of course. It gives the stat block for genetic NPCs the Witchlight hands, Carnival hands. CR 1/8, so they're nothing. Pixie dust, spell casting, and a dagger.
Mr. Light is very flamboyant.
Yeah, he is. I like his costume. It sort of reminds me of Blades of Glory.
Yeah, it does.
Wasn't Will Ferrell the fire? Will Ferrell was the fire
Yes.
guy, and then the other dude was the ice guy, right?
Yes.
That's
That's funny.
awesome. Wes, I could see you on ice skates, man. You want to go ice skating sometime?
I'm a mean person on hockey skates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the map in the book, which is probably what I should have used instead of trying to pull the map out.
Instead of ripping the one out of the back.
If you're watching this, Chris Perkins, I love Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm so sad I tore my map.
Send me another book, please.
Oh man. There's some carnival scenes. This is pretty cool. Some D8s to describe. 2 girls in face paint, a lion and a hart, squabble over a painted wooden crown that their mother won at a stall. Here's another scene. A satyr with red and white striped horns plays the pipes while leading a procession of dancing rodents. Little Pied Piper action there. An elf stilt walker tosses colorful surgery treats. That's creepy. Colorful sugary treats down to children who pass by. A painted sign of an elf wearing a jester's hat springs to life and exclaims, "We hope you're having a delightful evening!" A giant dragonfly swoops overhead and its rider spills a drink over a group of Witchlight hands. With a puff of glitter, a man's head suddenly turns into a head of a braying donkey, to the giggling delight of a group of mischievous pixies. Giant singing flowers burst from the ground and serenade passerbys, and a lively jig springs up, led by a troop of gnomish clowns.
Guys, Valen 1990 cheered 25 bits.
No, what is going on, Valen?
Thank you, man.
Effort. Been following us for a little while now. Hit us up anytime you have questions. Yeah, if you need backstory on any of the campaigns or. So, what do you guys think? What do you all expect out of a game like this? If I'm getting you all as players in this game, which I'm sure I will, unless your schedules don't allow, what would you like to see or experience out of a strange and crazy game like The Wild Beyond Witchlight?
Wes, what would you
I'm trying to think.
I can tell you what I'd expect.
Well,
I know.
I'd
You go ahead.
Crazy like trapeze artistry and different like wild animals and crazy juggling and seeing what kind of like storytelling my DM could play up on all this like madness of like like people standing on people's shoulders. I mean, like what kind of like magic and trickery would you perform in the Feywilds, or like would it just be like them performing simple mundane stuff?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
like are they just a traditional carnival or is there something different about them? Because it seems to me like regular carnival acts don't push the envelope as much as something out of the Feywild would.
yeah.
That's a good point. Because I mean, knife throwing at someone spinning on a board, sure, but then oh shoot, look at this artwork, guys. This is crazy. All right, I'm gonna try to hold it up so y'all can see it a little bit more in detail. So it's a displacer beast. See the tentacles coming off? But then the wings are like fastened to it with like little leather straps, like it's its costume. How cool is that, man? So I guess, like you said, Thomas, fantastical creatures and beasts.
I already have a character made perfectly for this scenario.
You're not going to bring Vinley over to this game?
Ubis.
You're going to bring Ubis into the Feywild?
Maybe.
Hey, I could see it. You might need a smooth talking silver tongued bard for some of these crazy creatures in the Feywild.
I could bring Chip over, but Chip would probably be so like frustrated.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? I don't know how I'm going to tie this into the homebrew game for me updating Baba Yaga's Dancing Hut from 2nd edition over to 5th. Because what's crazy is, I'm going to be running a one-shot on Thursday in lieu of Candlekeep Mysteries, just because I haven't had a chance to catch up on the rest of the story stuff I needed to pull together for you guys as you come out of Fistandia's Mansion. So I'm going to run a one-shot that ties directly into it, and I have a plan on how to pull you guys out of the scene you're in and into this one-shot. But I think I'm going to do the Lore of Larue, which is an 8th level adventure, so your characters are already at the right level. And Lore of Larue obviously centers around a book and a portal, because Candlekeep Mysteries is all about crazy books and the hijinks around them. But in that game, there's a night hag, right? And in my homebrew game that I've been building up to with Baba Yaga, I have the 3 sisters, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And what's so ironic about this, and Thomas, you know me on my honor, dude, like, I'm excited about D&D and I've read about a lot of things, but there hasn't been a whole lot of spoilers on the internet, and I promise you, hand to God, I haven't looked a whole lot into this book. But one of the things that absolutely floored me was when I opened the book and it started talking about the 3 hags that had taken over the Feywild, at least this section of the Feywild, and it's called Prismere, and so that's on the other side of the map. And the neat thing too is one of the interesting things about the Feywild has to do with this unicorn horn, and it goes over different locations of where the characters can acquire the unicorn horn. Tommy, you'll probably remember this when I ran the original Baba Yaga game and you guys met her in the Magic Glade. She had a unicorn held captive that she was trying to sacrifice for the blood and the horn so she could concoct a potion to extend her life. Well, that I totally ripped that off from the movie Legend with Tom Cruise, and the idea of the unicorns and all that crap. But what's funny is, and this is why I think that this story is just meant for me to tell, when I started looking into a homebrew game and I got inspired to do this witch game, the more and more I read about things, the pieces just fell into place. So I knew I wanted a witch as a villain because I always loved the witch in the movie Legend that Tom Cruise's character meets at the very beginning in the swamp, and he tricks her and says that she's beautiful, and then he uses his shiny golden shield to distract her long enough to decapitate her and send her to the watery depths of the swamp. And I always kind of thought witches were crazy cool characters, like beautiful in disguise, haggard and haunted and twisted and gnarled in their evil true forms, and they can be so many different things. So when I started writing my witch game and reading about things, I actually ran across the Mighty Glue Stick on YouTube, AJ Pickett, who's the D&D DM and player, and he does a lot of D&D lore videos, and he was talking about hags and specifically Baba Yaga, and going over how they brought her into the D&D world and when she first makes her appearance, and outside of Dungeons and Dragons, what her lore is as a witch and all the different viewpoints of her. Is she a fairy queen turned mean and evil? Is she an archfey? Is she a demon? Is she an old woman who sold her soul to the devil and she's just immortal now? There's all these different things that play into this persona of Baba Yaga. So it makes it great for a DM and a storyteller because you can literally change her motivations and make her either good or bad or somewhere in between. And Thomas, you've played in Curse of Strahd, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. And again, this is a big spoiler thing. So if you're currently playing in Strahd or you're thinking about it, wait, watch a commercial, come back, or fast forward. In that game, they call her Baba Lysaga, which is supposed to be more of like a Vistani pronunciation. And in the Ravenloft plane, demi-plane, whatever, the people are trapped in this perpetual doom and gloom that is Barovia and the countryside around it. Well, Baba Lysaga makes her appearance in the ruins of Berez, and her hut is there rooted into the ground. And they do everything pretty much the same as the original second edition D&D stuff, where she has the dancing hut and she has Scarecrow or Skeleton that watch out and trigger coming to life as characters approach the hut. But her backstory and persona in Curse of Strahd is much more evil, much more diabolical, and her origins directly relate to her being allegedly the mother of Strahd or the adopted mother of Strahd.
Yeah, so in the actual story, Baba Lysaga is actually think of her like the caretaker. Like
Okay.
she basically she was there when Strahd was born, and she was the uh like the crib mother
Okay, yeah.
to Strahd, and she takes full responsibility and full like admittance to being his mother, when in reality she's not. All she is basically a big super fan of Strahd, and she just worships the ground he walks on. And the party in Curse of Strahd encounters her, and she actually is the one who gives the fortune tellings to all of the players. You have to seek her out, and depending on however your DM does it, either she places the cards out or the cards have already been dealt. And it's really something to behold, because you as a player get a lot of critical information from her. And yes, it's somewhat vague, but it's such critical information for the overall story.
Yeah.
And like I love the scene because it plays up that she's yes, a hag of some sort, but you don't feel that way. You feel like she's just an elderly older woman with intense magical potency, and her crazy obsession with this vampire, you know, and is the world of madness that he has wrapped around him and the people of Barovia. So if anything, I'd say she almost idolizes him in how he was capable enough to trap all of these people within Barovia.
Okay.
And I mean, she again adores him like a mother would adore her newborn baby.
Gotcha.
Um
So obviously,
so
at the end of the day, she's going to look out for Strahd and Strahd's best interest, and
Oh, always,
yeah.
always. So what's actually really funny is like, and just to give people like a little bit of detail is like if you talk ill about
Mhm.
Strahd, whatsoever in front of her, she will mess you up. Like
Yeah.
she will curse you. So like in her stats, she actually has the ability to cast curses. And even all of the Vistani, like they have the ability to throw a curse on you.
Yeah,
You
because I
know,
didn't realize until recently. I've been watching Homebrew Cafe play through Strahd. I had no idea that the Vistani were pro Strahd.
yes.
That,
So actually in the
like they
beginning of
bring people to him to feed on, like people from
yeah,
outside of Barovia.
yep,
That's
yep.
nuts, dude.
And Strahd does not mess with any Vistani
Hmm.
whatsoever. And that's what I think is so funny. Like he's their people through and through.
Wow.
Like they are 100% his people. And yes, they see him as a monster, but they don't fear him the way that everyone else fears him. They
Yeah.
see him more as I'd almost say like a kindred spirit.
Hmm. He's just as trapped in this dark and gloomy existence as they are, essentially.
Yeah, and that's why like I think it's really interesting that they would put almost like a Baba Yaga-esque character in Curse of Strahd to kind of like amp up that darkness because there's witches all throughout Curse of Strahd. There are all sorts of crazy madness. I don't want to give too much away for our viewers, but like
Yeah.
you've got people who well, you've got one witch that goes house to house. Well, one elderly woman, so to speak, that goes house to house selling cuddled meat pies.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, and literally like the first encounter that you run into with her is she literally goes up to this person's door and she knocks on their door and she's like, "I'm selling my pies. Would you care for one?" And
That
literally,
reminds me
and
of when Misty ate human meat in the butcher's.
yeah, well, literally, okay, so come to
I knew
find
what I was
out,
doing.
I
Yeah,
knew what I
I
was doing.
figured you did, and you probably enjoyed it too, you freak.
That was delicious.
Uh, in in Curse of Strahd, one of the scenes that plays out is the party sees this elderly woman going up to these doors, knocking and offering cuddled meat pies, and literally one of the families doesn't have the money to pay for the pie, so they literally hand her their child.
Oh, that's screwed up, dude.
Yeah, and she literally grabs the child and like stuffs the child onto her cart, and the child's like cries, like crying and stuff like that. And you as
Player
a uh,
characters.
a player character have to decide on like what you're gonna do. Like, are you gonna fight this old haggard lady in the middle of the street? Like, you don't know who she is. You're level 1,
Yeah.
and then like the party was like, we literally bit our tongue and watched everything unfold, and you have to you know like decide on like what kind of direction are you going to go as players. Like if you're lawfully good, like you're going to be torn. Like the party ended up going back and basically getting violent with the parents that gave away their child
Oh,
instead of
no
going
way.
after. Yeah, like they were like, why would you even do this, this is evil. And like I literally sat there and was like, why would any of you even be willing to let this old haggard woman get away with this child in the first place? And like the parents basically explain that like all of the joy and love in the land has been sapped away, and the only happiness that anyone can find is in these meat pies. And come
Mm,
to find out later on down the road,
they're eating their own children.
they're eating their own children.
Dude, that's so wicked, dude.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
she literally makes children meat pies, puts magical ingredients in it that makes people who eat the pies happy, and she literally just gives the pies to the villagers to keep getting what she wants because she's just sowing you know evil into the land.
Oh,
So
Sounds
yeah,
delicious.
right.
yeah, right.
So something else it looks like they carried over in this book is the trinkets, kind of like they did in Icewind Dale.
Yeah,
So you have
love
a
trinkets, dude. So
D100
cool.
to roll of trinkets, a mask
Ooh,
that helps you remember your dreams if you wear it while you sleep.
ooh,
Red.
Cool.
Go ahead.
can we uh can we roll? Can we roll and you tell us what we get?
Yeah, go ahead. Go roll me a D100.
All right, I'm gonna just say a number,
Oh Lord.
71. 71.
All right, so 71. A
I'm
wooden
gonna
app
actually
a wooden
I'll
apple
actually
painted
roll.
blue.
Apple
I'm
painted
actually gonna
blue.
roll.
Yeah, I think I'll roll too. Let me get some
I'm
dice.
actually gonna roll. I want to see how this turns out. Hold on, get
Hey, you know
ready.
what?
Listen.
You could build your character right now. Do you guys want to build a character?
Hold on, listen.
Nice.
That's more than a D10.
Roll me
Well,
100 D1s.
Yes. What did you get?
I need another set of dice. I don't have my dice.
33.
Okay, 33. Let's see. You have a pumpkin cupcake that magically regenerates itself in its paper cup each day at dawn. Dude, that's awesome.
Why
Do
do
you
I
like,
get a
do you like
stupid
pumpkin
wooden
spice?
apple?
You like pumpkin spice?
No.
No? Do you
So
want to
that's probably the worst thing I could have ever gotten.
do you want to
Trade
persuade
my
your DM
apple.
to re-roll
I'll trade you my wooden apple for your
for your
pumpkin
pie?
pie cupcake.
Do you want Ubis to persuade you, or you want?
Hey,
No,
go.
because if you do, you're gonna get the apple for free.
Right?
Ubis could persuade you without even rolling.
Oh yeah, check it out. We got some old Baba Yaga props that I made. Let's see. Do you guys want to build a character real quick?
No.
You don't want to? You don't want to make
No.
a pixie?
No.
A fairy? No. Let's see what my trinket
No,
would be
not
real quick.
not today.
Fairy dust parents.
What's in the
Fairy dust.
Alright, let's see what we get. That's a 95. I got a weak magnetic wand.
A weak magnetic wand.
Hey man.
I will totally trade you.
For what? The cupcake?
Yeah.
I'll take the cupcake.
Oh, damn it. Give me the cupcake.
Do you want the cupcake? Give me the wooden apple.
Done.
I want the weak magnetic wand. Is it like the weakest magnet ever?
Yeah. I mean, like, I'd imagine you could pick up some nuts and bolts if they fell off the carriage or something.
Or what if you can't? Like, what if like it only has the strength to like
one
literally
screw at a time?
Yeah.
Like one nail.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Or
it
like-
better
or
be
like-
like a really light one too, like one of those tiny little tin penny nails.
Yeah, like a metallic dust or something like that, you know?
Oh, like those things when you're a kid where you could draw the fuzzy beard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the fuzzy beard pins.
That's great, dude. That's so freaking great. No, this artwork is amazing though, guys. Like,
It does look really good. Look, you can even see the cupcake on the page.
oh, on the trinket page. Yeah, right here. I want to know what this one is. It looks like it's a night hag right here. A drawing of a night hag.
So
it kind of also looks like there's colors in the corner too, and I wonder if that coincides with seasons or chapters. So it looks like chapter
could be seasons.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So this is the Witchlight Carnival Chapter 1. It's got green corners. And it looks like, okay. Chapter 2 is Hither, which has orange corners. And then, let's see. Chapter 3 has yellow, it looks.
Well, you know that, like, in
Hither
the
and
Feywild...
Thither. That's great. Oh, here you go, Misty. This is some artwork you'll appreciate. Look at that little displacer kitten. I mean, these illustrations are insane, man.
Well, yeah. That's me.
Silly kitty cat.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh, wanted posters. And a random roll for that. Look at this reward. Granny Nightshade gives you a character. Gives
your your page flips. Because I'm on your I'm watching through Twitch.
You what?
I'm watching through Twitch, so I can't see like where you're at. I can't see it on.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I was just looking at the. It says wanted posters, and all the different.
Yeah, kitty cat.
I guess it gets you to roll for random wanted stuff. The wanted posters. Granny Nightshade has attached wanted posters to trees throughout Thither, offering rewards for the capture of her nemesis, Will of the Feywild. See locations in Thither. Each poster consists of a portrait of a boy drawn in ink, above which are the following words in Elvish script. Wanted, Will of the Feywild. Each poster promises a reward for Will's capture. Whenever you want the characters to find such a poster, or when the text calls for it, roll the wanted posters table to determine which poster the characters will have just discovered and what it offers. So this one says, Granny Nightshade gives a yellow rose as long as this rose remains unwilted and in the character's possession, the character relives the first 10 years of their life as a vivid dream. whenever they finish a long rest. After 8 days, the rose wilts and loses its magical property. There you go, Wes. Could you imagine like constantly Groundhog Day living your first 10 years of your life for 8 days?
It was joyous.
That's crazy. Oh yeah, here we go. These are the different kingdoms I think it was talking about. So
Did you get my text?
you texted me? Oh, I just see it. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that we can kind of wrap it up here in a few minutes too. Yeah, it looks like this hither and thither are the different kingdoms that are in the actual domain
Yeah,
of
that
the
map's
prisoner.
that map's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait to see what people come out with for the tabletop community for this.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Look
gonna
at
be really
this.
interesting. I'd want to play like a bunny
Displacer
person.
Beast Kitten. How cute is that stinking thing?
Have you seen like like somebody did like some fan
Nah.
art of like all of like the monsters, like if they were like babies,
Oh
like
yeah.
like a displacer beast, like there's
Baby
like
owlbear.
like the baby owlbear and all that stuff. Like it's so cute.
Gosh, dude.
Unicorn.
These
Yeah.
freaking maps are gorgeous, dude.
A clutching of what is it like flying snakes.
Loom Lurch.
Yeah, doesn't that map look badass?
Nice.
Oh, here we go. Look who it is.
The fact that they have stats for some of the babies is like ridiculous.
It's a portrait of Tasha. Dude,
Oh wow.
how is this? This book was meant for me, guys. Like, this is going to be amazing when I get you guys into it. Oh, nice. Look at that. And it looks like, oh shoot, look, the spider is reading a storybook to a skunk, a fox, a weasel, a fairy, a hedgehog, a bunch of bunnies, a badger.
What is the spider's intelligence?
Well, who's
Can
to
he
say
really
that?
even read?
Oh, here we go. Look, it says the forest of Thither is home to other strange creatures, including a giant storytelling spider named Yarn Spinner, who is detailed in Domains of Delight, a Feywild supplement on the Dungeon Masters Guild. Oh, sweet. So looks like I'll be going to the Dungeon Masters Guild to download that soon.
So, like, here we go. I got a question for you guys.
What's up?
What are your thoughts on like, all of the the critters and creatures within the Feywild? Like, who's to say that they're not sentient creatures? Like, they have the ability to read and to write, and they're able to speak and whatnot. Like, sure, like, what if there's like some creatures? Like, it could be like, what is it? The from the Falmor, not the Falmor. It's the oh my gosh. Like there could be like um some creatures that are like of lesser intelligence that can't speak, but then there's also those that can. Like who's to say that like the party's walking through a field and they see a horse and they're like, look at the horse, let's grab it. And
Yeah.
as they walk over to it, it's like, excuse me, sir, do you have any sugar cubes?
Yeah.
And then like the party would be completely caught off guard.
Charlie, the
or like
magical Leopleurodon. Charlie, we gotta go to Candy Mountain, Charlie.
Yeah, or like say for instance, like the horse is like trying to rob you. Like literally, like the horse is like he's like, give me everything you've got. Or something
That would be
completely
crazy.
outlandish.
Yeah, like some weird Aesop story.
Oh my god, squirrels try and rob you.
Oh, dude, yes, Feywild
Like
squirrels.
a whole clutching of like a whole batch of just squirrels that have been teaming up and robbing people coming through like down like a trail or something like that, and it's like, what do you got? Give me everything you got, all the nuts and berries and grapes and fruits and anything, give me all your nuts.
Right.
And they literally just rob the entire party. Like, what are your thoughts on stuff like that?
No, I think that'd be sweet, dude. You're definitely giving me some ideas. So if you run into a
Mm-hmm.
band of Feywild squirrels, you have no one but to blame but yourself.
And like,
I mean,
okay.
as a player who's just in the game that I play, has been at the Feywild, that nothing is. I mean, nothing's off limits. Like,
what if you had like a field of flowers that were allergic to humanoids?
Speaking of which, I don't know if y'all saw the picture on the stream. Look at this NPC character that it's got. It's Pollinella the honeybee and Amador the dandelion. And it says,
I saw that.
Yeah, you could literally be a plant person. That's like some Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz type shit right there. A sentient dandelion that protects a honeybee.
Have you seen?
And he's chopped down the thistles. Look, he's cut
the
down
movie
thistles.
Hook. Like, you've seen the movie Hook, right?
Yeah, when the
Robin Williams,
the flowers sniff at his crotch and sneeze.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
literally, you could do like a whole scene, like almost like from like the movie Hook, where the flowers are sneezing at people and blowing pollen at them.
Definitely. Well, I don't want
hey
to keep.
Ryan, do you want to?
Yeah, I don't want to keep us too long, but
I was gonna say.
Thanks for stopping by, folks. And like we have a game coming up on Thursday. This one's probably going to be a little bit shaky just because I'm trying to throw together a one-shot last minute. But the other thing to note is week after this.
Sorry.
It's all good. The week after this, our mod friend over here, Wes, is going to be running his first game as a DM.
No, week after is Rhyme.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. No, I said week after next. Either way, yes. So next week is Rime of the Frost Maiden, and then the week after next week is his Battle Royale. Oh, these are pretty sweet. These magic weapons. Snicker Snack, a sword. Hole of Collapsing. Type of Smoke Monsters. Igvil's Cauldron.
There's some really interesting magical items. Look at that giant owl.
And if we get another chance, we can go through the rest of later.
Yeah, man. Sounds like a plan. Well, hey, friends, DMs, and viewers alike, players, hopefully you enjoyed Old Dominion Heroes this evening, coming to you with our initial review and react video for The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and for our DM roundtable chat about Waterdeep: A Dragon Heist. Any last words, fellas, before we cut it off for the night?
Just stick around, stay tuned for more. We're gonna be trying to get some cool emotes and things like that for you guys in chat that have been donating and subscribing. And yeah, just stick around. We'll be playing on Thursday, and definitely playing next Monday. So make sure you come and check out all three of us on both days.
Yeah, definitely. And thanks again, Valiant, for the
appreciate
bits.
you all watching.
Yeah, thanks for the bits and the sub.
Yeah, I think Valcom Zion subscribed and gave us 101 bits, and then
thanks, Val.
Valen 1990 gave 25 bits.
Well, we hope to see you guys at the next game. Great. Hey, Wes, Thomas, good time chatting with you all about this.
Hey, man, thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Anyway, everybody, have a good night.
Thursday at game.
See you then, man. Bye.